Tonight we have a special visitor with us tonight. Give you guys a few minutes to come on in. This ridiculous serpent of mine. Actually, it's my son's. You get home from work and you expect your snake to be happy to see you. Not always the case. What can you do? Can't win them all. And my apologies that Snakey's being an asshole right now, or knucklehead. That's who he is. He's a knucklehead. I do love him for whatever reason. 10 years of owning this guy or being owned by this guy. Can't see if we got anybody in here yet. Stupid snake. I do love you, but damn. Rattling your tail at me like that? Really, man? Come on. It looks like everybody's commuting tonight. We're still, what, 1 minute in and nobody's here? I know, Snakey. Where's your audience, buddy? Where's your audience? I don't see them either. Do you see yourself? Yeah. You're a pretty snake, aren't you? Goober. Numb nuts. Rattling your tail at me. We've known each other for 10 years. You in a grumpy mood tonight? It's not like you. Yeah, don't worry, I'm in a grumpy mood if it helps, Snakey. Annoyed. Irritated, paying bills for no reason, I don't know why. Where is the audience tonight? Where are our folks at? We usually have a nice community here. Strange. Hi there, Anari. How are you? Privyet. This is Snakey. Privyet, Snakey says. Privyet. Drinking voda? How are you? Privyet. Hey, Mr. Bombasket. Yeah, it is a snake. It's a corn snake. His name is Snakey. He's non-venomous. He's been kind of a knucklehead tonight. I came home, and this goober, who never bites, he actually rattled his tail at me. It was not very polite of him, but what can you do? No. He's not, no venomous, no poison, no. He's friendly snake. How do I say in Russia, a Ruski snake? What's the word? Voda? I have my Voda here. How do I say snake in Russian? Snakey is a 10-year-old corn snake. As you can see here, he's very friendly. I'm actually impressed that he rattled his tail at me tonight. That was funny. I was like, you knucklehead. And as you can see, he's just smelling me. He's not going to bite me. I'm not a mouse, I hope. If I was, I'd be in big trouble because Chomper here loves to eat mice. He's very pretty. He's a good boy. I've had him since my son was a little one. So he's 10 years old now. In captivity, he can live about 20 years. My hope is 25. Sometimes they go up to 25 years. He's a good boy. I'm kind of happy that he finally... Zamia. Is that how I say it? Zamia? Come on, Snakey, man. Cooperate, Bubba. I know you're all wanting to explore, and he loves coming out here. Zamia. You know what I've seen? The Russian rat snake is beautiful. Very pretty. Russian rat snake, pretty. This is an American red rat snake. Corn snake. He's very easygoing, as you can see. I trust him. He ain't gonna bite me. I'm kind of amazed. It was the first time in years that he rattled his tail at me when I came in the room to pick him up. At first I said, "Hey, Snakey," when I walked in the room. Usually what he does is he comes right up and yeah, he can crawl by him. Yeah, he did. He did. I literally said, "Hey, Snakey." But then when I tried to pick him up, he actually, he rattled his tail. He's just saying, "I'm angry." I was like, whatever. I'm picking you up. Oh, thank you. What's your favorite video game, New Gen Player? I'm hoping if you don't mind subscribing or hitting the thumbs up here, everybody. Really appreciate it because we are going to actually do more video game stuff soon. In fact, we have a gamer convention coming to Washington, D.C. soon. And that's going to be on live as well as videos. And you like Mario too. Okay. And I guess you like Luigi and I guess the princess. And I believe it's, oh my goodness, it's been a rough day. Luigi, the Toad. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I grew up playing that game. Like, people always say, "Hey, you waste time on video games." I'm like, in the 1980s, we were wasting time too. Hi there, Yusuf. How are you tonight? And hope you're doing well. Do you like snakes like this beautiful corn snake here who's not venomous? Oh, awesome, new generation gamer. Yeah, have you played all Super Mario Brothers like 1, 2, and 3 and all the new stuff like Mario Kart? There you are. Hi, Snakey. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, video games are fun. And do you like Zelda as well? The Zelda games? Snakey, you goober. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Zelda, we wasted a lot of time back in the day on that one. And a watch? Oh, the watch? This is a Coach. Have you ever heard of Coach? Coach, I got it for only $50. It's actually originally, I think it was like a $200 or $300 watch. But what I do is I wait till it goes on sale and then I use a lot of coupons. I don't have a lot of money, but I like to look sharp sometimes for a guy who's approaching 50. You know, but I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I'm here in the Washington, D.C. with Snakey. Where are you guys at? Feel free to say hi. I'm Mike. I'm just a fun-loving guy. I'm a dad, just a fellow human being just like all of you that likes to play with in the backyard with a pet snake. Go figure. I actually want to put this in my boss's desk and watch him scream. But I want to keep my job, to be honest, so not worth it. But it would be funny. He's scared of snakes, and I'm like, really? If this snake bit me, I've had worse paper cuts. This guy's never bit me. I'm actually kind of disappointed. Like, I used to have a black rat snake as a pet too. He was, every once in a while, he'd tag me as a love tap. It was because he was scared. I startled him. It was my fault. And all I did was look at his little teeth or my skin and wipe them off and go, "Thanks, buddy." And I've even picked up an 8-foot black rat snake in the wild to get it off a street. And of course he bit me. And, oh yeah, I have lots of weapons. Sure. I'm mostly a Glock guy. I do like Springfield Armory. I like Kimber. What type of... I don't have any AK. I love Kalashnikovs. Oh my goodness. I love Kalashnikov and Makarov. Is it Makarov that makes the handguns in Russia? I've shot the Makarov in Eastern Europe. It's beautiful. It's a nice firearm. And Kalashnikov is a genius. Brilliant, smart man. But as you can see here, this goober, what are you doing, Snakey, man? What are you doing? He eats one mouse a week, and I think he probably is thinking, can I get another one? Nope, you're on a diet. You're on a restricted diet, dude, because you got fat. Chomper here loves to eat mice. Frozen, pre-thawed, I don't believe in. I just don't have the heart to put a live mouse with him. Some people do that. I just view it as the snake could get hurt, or I kind of feel in a heart for the mouse, you know? It's scared. All it sees is, goes into a box and it sees this thing coming right at it. And I know that's nature, but he eats. They're frozen, pre-thawed. So all I do is warm them up, and Zamaya eats. Hey there, Riley. How's Brainerd, Mississippi, Minnesota tonight doing? I don't know if you've seen Snakey yet, but this is a corn snake. He's a goober, and he's being ridiculous tonight. He actually rattled his tail. It had been years since he rattled his tail to say I'm not happy, but I picked him up. Ha ha. And he didn't bite as usual. He hasn't bit ever. He's a good boy. 10-year-old corn snake. And he's my favorite serpent. Figured you guys should see him tonight. Do you guys like reptiles? Or if you like snakes, what's your favorite one? And maybe your least favorite snake? Sure, I will read run word. Go for it. Let's try. You're probably right. I probably will not. But, oh, okay, Snakey. Come on, Snakey. I know your audience. This is your people, man. Go for it. Snake cam. Snake vision. It's 83 degrees up there. Wow. So you're hotter than the DC area today. We only had 81. Oh, hi, Ari. Yeah, Snakey sends his best. He's a 10-year-old harmless corn snake, although today he dared to rattle his tail at me when I walked into the room. I was like, man, that's a defensive move, but I picked him up, and of course, he's all bluff and no bite. And even if he bit me, I'd be like, that's all you can do. Paper cut. I've had worse paper cuts. The black rat snake I used to have, one time I startled him and he bit me. And I was like, that's all you can do? Even Samora Viva Aisha. Whoa. Yeah, that's a hard word. That's not easy. But do you have Kalashnikov AK-47s? Kalashnikov? Hi, Snakey. You got an international following. You got people from Russia. Where else are people watching Snakey from tonight? Anybody else see Snakey? Hey, Snakey. Say hola. Say privyet. Say como estas. Say bonjour. If I had a talking snake, I'd have real problems. Oh, it's safe. This is a non-venomous snake. It's a corn snake, a red rat snake who's 10 years old. And you know what's funny? Although it's sad, okay, I am sorry that 15 Americans or 20 Americans every year die from venomous snake bites. But guess what? 95% of the victims are 16 to 24-year-old males chasing and harassing the snakes. So in a way, it's kind of like Darwin. But he's not venomous. I would never have something like that. You have to have a license for a venomous snake. And I went, even with the training and the tongs, we have copperheads here that are venomous but not deadly. I'm still not messing with that. Plus, I've heard their bites hurt like hell. This guy, if he bit me, I'd just be like, okay. And, like, that's all you can do. But if everybody could subscribe tonight for Snakey, or I'm going to say subscribe with all the S's, it would be greatly appreciated because in the last few days, I apologize to you all. I have tried everything to find the black rat snakes at a place I know. My guess is they've gone nocturnal, so they're hunting at night. Usually I can find them for you guys. It's a joy. I pick them up. I will even pick up a northern water snake for you guys. And, thank you, Ari. And when I have my teenage son back, I'll try to subscribe to you. I'm still learning, but I do apologize to all who watched the other day. I used to have a 95% success rate finding snakes, whether it was a garter snake, a black rat snake. These guys live in Florida normally, South Carolina. I had to have him imported from a breeder, but he's 5 feet long, good boy, 10 years old. Should live to about 20 to 25 in captivity, and the wild, he lived maybe 10 years if he was lucky. But Mr. Chomper here is, he's domestic. He's chilling. In fact, I've had people that are terrified of snakes pick him up. He's a teddy bear. I mean, literally, you can't get better than this. No, he's a corn snake. He's a red rat snake. If you're familiar with black rat snakes, or Aner kebab. I apologize. Um, uh, this snake is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Russian black rat snake. It's a beautiful snake and gorgeous. No, I live with people, but yeah, like family and stuff. Yeah, but this is snaky. Do you like? Have you ever seen the Russian rat snake? It's beautiful, black in color, yellow, gorgeous. All right, Snaky, what are you doing, buddy? Hmm. Ah, come on, not there, not in that area. There's no mice there, but as you can see, he's chilling. What snakes are your favorites? Just one. There's no beauty in snake. It's okay to. I understand that. Snakes are. I don't know what you call them. They're either polarizing or loved. I love them. I used to be afraid of them. Hey there, Jenya. How you doing tonight? I hope you are having fun. And I'm in Washington D.C. This is Snaky the corn snake. He's harmless. He says hello to you, and you may notice him with his tongue here. He's not trying to eat me, I promise you, although my bald head looks good. He's actually sniffing. That's how they smell, with their tongue. So, hey, buddy. Yep. As you can see, he's harmless, non-venomous. It would be funny if I said that and he bites me right in the face. I'd just be like, you butthead. Pretty good. How are you doing, Mr. Nader? What you up to tonight? My apologies, I believe. Let me see how good this memory is. You're from California, I think. Am I correct or wrong? Yeah, there are some homeless people here. How about Russia? Are there homeless people there too? I think it's a worldwide problem. It's really sad. A lot of it's drug use, mental illness, and a lack of education. And also, the price of living is not cheap anymore. In fact, my heart goes to you guys that are younger, guys and gals. I mean that. My heart goes out to you all. I'm never going to be wealthy. I got lucky to be born at the right time back in the day. Nowadays, houses are, if you rent or buy, I'm so sorry. The interest rates are high. The rents are high. The groceries are high. But yet, if you're a fan of history, after 1917's pandemic, the same thing happened. There were missing food items. There were inflation, high cost of living. It's all history repeats itself. So the more you learn from history, it just repeats itself. And no, I have not visited Mississippi, but I really want to see that river. And I would like to see, I think it's Jackson, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. From what I understand, a lot of history and a lot. Although I've heard it gets, does it true it gets hot down that way? I've been down to Tennessee and I about melted. Then again in Mexico, 107 degrees. That wasn't so good, to be honest. Nah, wasn't muy bien. Plenty of senoritas bonitas and cervezas muy frio, but no. Oh, hi, Jenya. It's Snaky. He's a goober. My son named him Snaky 10 years ago. And, sadly, we lost Onyx to a medical issue. He was only 3. He was a beautiful black rat snake. I'm going to probably adopt one from a shelter. A lot of irresponsible people buy snakes and then get them. But Snaky is, as you can see, he's just checking me out. He likes my bald head because he's cold-blooded. It's not his fault. I like him more than most people. Is that a wrong? Southern states can be poor. Yes, indeed. Although it does, yeah, there's been a lot of poverty down that way. And what do you think the reasons are? Do you think it's a lack of education, uh, cycles after cycles of poverty? Um, who knows? Bliat. Is that like bleen? Because I think bleen is a bad word in Russian. I could be wrong. Or something like that. We have a large Russian population here, and Ukrainian, Estonian, Polish. We're like the United Nations here. We got everybody. We got everybody, which is awesome because we're all 3% related. Bliat. Is that correct? Or and have you ever shot a Kalashnikov? Because I love that thing. It's wicked. It's great. Yep. Blat. Bliat. This is Snaky the corn snake. He's a goober. Yep, he's a goober. Yep. He's a good boy, though. He's harmless. Yeah, it is. I agree, Mr. Nater. It's so good to see people from all different backgrounds. We're all related 3%. And plus, it's fun to learn about different cultures. What country would you visit if you had the chance? I'm going to put, I think, Snaky up in a minute because he's getting kind of bliat. Is it like bleen? Okay, I'm going to let Snaky, I'll be back in just a minute, folks, okay? Please stay if you can. If you don't, I'd understand. I'll be back in just a few. Let me just put Snaky back in just a minute. Thank you for staying. All that did. Oh, you want to visit Korea? Korea would be beautiful. Japan and the United States. Hi there, Genya. Yeah, the U.S. is pretty cool. We're lucky. Yeah, and the snake did leave. He was, it's not his fault. He's cold-blooded, and I think he was away from his heat lamp for a while. So I decided to instead bring out the fishing pole. Who here likes to fish? Anybody? Anybody like to fish? This sucker is a, see how I do this? It's a Hellcat. It's a big pole. That's what he said. And, oh, so your dad fishes, Jenya? Your dad fishes? Awesome. It's a great lifelong activity. And, what do you call it? A bad day of fishing is better than any good day at work. That is actually true, to be honest. And also, just being by the water can be, what's the word? Relaxing? Do you fish as well, Jenya? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I do apologize if I'm not. And here's some Voda for our friend who's from Russia here tonight. I'm trying to learn. The old guy's trying to learn. Good. What do you know what type of fish you usually go for? Or like rivers or lakes or ocean or such a fun hobby. And damn, didn't get the cold ones tonight. Edi Nayi. What does that mean? And a shame, Voda tonight again. I forgot the beer. How do I say beer in Russian? Actually, I didn't forget. I was just kind of annoyed because traffic was rough, and sometimes you're just like, eh. There's some crazy drivers and crazy commuters in the DC area, whether you're on the metro, the train, or biking or hiking, or if you drive. Today I decided to drive into the office, and that was unique, to say the least. In fact, although Washington, D.C. is not as bad as, say, Boston or Miami, if you've been there, they're freaking maniacs down in Miami, and they're maniacs up in Boston. New York City, they're maniacs, but they know what they're doing, if that makes sense. But how do I say beer in Russian? And Jenya, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm really good at bad words that are like 4 or 5 letters, but sometimes I have dyslexia. I have ADD. Welcome to the club. Don't we all have something? Sometimes I jumble up numbers and words, so if I'm mispronouncing your name, it's not on purpose or anything like that. It's just I sometimes flip letters still when I read. Writing, for whatever reason, is no problem. Go figure. Strange how the human brain works or doesn't. It's great to have a relatively okay IQ, average, and then sometimes it works in really cool ways, and then sometimes it's kind of like, huh? Like brain farts are real. CRS, can't remember stuff, that's real. So what is everybody doing tonight? Anybody do anything good tonight? Oh, good, good. The birds are singing beautifully. What kind of birds do you have close to you in Russia? Like, I'd love to go one day. I would like to visit Russia. Great history, great Tchaikovsky, great music, great culture, great history. Tolstoy, uh, so many writers, so many painters. Yeah, the birds are singing here too. It's kind of nice. Although, I don't know if you can see this, they took all the bird seed. What do you think? It's time to get a quarter machine by the bird feeder? Because they're greedy, like they really are. In fact, I just literally, I don't know if you could see that. That bird feeder, I kid you not, a week ago, I filled it like it was over full. And then from what I've learned, there are some types of wren birds that eat on the ground. So they made a huge mess over there. There's still some of it. I don't know if you can see it. And then they ate on the ground. And then the rest of the guys, the Cardinals, the Blue Jays, and the crows, and then there's another bird. I apologize. Um, they eat it all. They ate it all. In fact, it's time to put a quarter machine on there. Be like, look, birds, y'all got to pay this guy, okay? Like, no more free lunches. Oh man, Mark Twain, you're right, genius. Mark Twain, and we even have some really good modern writers. Um, this country is actually a lot of it's because of. You're right. We have we come from all over the world originally. We bring things here. But have you read Good Night, Annika? I hope I'm pronouncing your night. Das Vidanya, Sweet Dreams. Mir, peace. Yeah, we have a lot of good American writers. In fact, I'm trying to remember his name. He's originally from Afghanistan. I love his writing style. Um, ah, I feel horrible because I have a problem remembering names. Okay, like I don't know if this happens to you. You walk in a room. Hey, I'm Mike. You're John. Okay, nice to meet you. Was your name Henry or Bill? Um, but he wrote The Kite Runner, and he also wrote A Thousand Splendid Suns. That gentleman can write a book. His third one wasn't so great, but The Kite Runner and the second one about Maria, the what was it, A Thousand Splendid Suns. That's one of the saddest. but most beautifully written 2 books I've ever read. How about you? Which modern writers? Anybody here like? I don't know. Like right now, I'm reading a book on. I just finished The New Guys, which is about the. They're called the. Okay, I got to keep this channel PG-13, or want to, because I want to keep more people here and also get more subscribers, lifelong learners. We're going to do trips together here. I forgot what it's called. The New Guys. It's called The New Guys. It's a book on the space shuttle. And sadly, a lot of it is the Challenger, the Columbia. But it's called The New Guys. It's a book. I forgot who the author is. Excellent. It's a female writer. I forgot her name. She's fantastic. She documented the space shuttle program so well. And then, of course, she had Sally Ride, like Dick Scobie, John Young. He walked on the moon, and he also flew the first space shuttle. John Young and Bob Crippen made that first space shuttle mission, STS-1. Both of them, they never had actually launched that rocket before then. That takes some serious brass cojones. Oh, okay, Mr. Nader, so you too. What's a good history book you'd recommend? Because history is fascinating. And are you familiar with, what's his name? Eric Larson, I think. He wrote about the Lusitania, and he also wrote recently about the Devil in the White City, about racism. He wrote about World War II. Hey there, Norfolk Southern CSX rail fan. I hope to catch you one day up on the rails. Sorry, last night only got a VRE. How are you doing lately? And by the way, I agree with you. Norfolk Southern rocks, especially. Sorry you missed the snake. We had him out earlier. Yes, a red rat snake, a corn snake chilling. Good, good. Are you out spotting tonight? And also when you do spot, do you use the radio frequencies and understand those codes? Because I'm clueless, my man. Clueless. Oh, nice. Okay. Fredericksburg. So are you gonna do like the Virginia Railway Express, Amtrak, and then I think what is it? Norfolk Southern runs down there, I think. Okay, so you understand the codes. What would you recommend to say like a newbie or a noob or whatever the phrase is? If I got a scanner, what's a good way for just a general person, or if there's somebody else here watching, for us to know that there's a freight train coming or something like that? Because all I do is I go and just wait by the tracks, and I can read the VRE schedules and others, but freight train, from what I understand, is supply and demand. You get some good footage, though. You really do. I've enjoyed your stuff on here. I mean, wow. I don't know what equipment you're using, but it's beautiful. I just used an Apple 14, but whatever you're using is definitely beautiful. Got some nice shots. Like you, I'm a Renaissance man when it comes to trains. But Mr. Nader, have you heard of Eric Larson, or who do you read? Devil in a White City was really good. Dead Wake about Lusitania was really good. We could have multiple people shooting the breeze here tonight. I mean, what's left of the brain still working tonight? I don't know about y'all, but hoping. I know Eric. Oh yeah, Eric is a hell of a writer. He is. Eric has written some phenomenal stories. Are you all familiar with William Shirer? I know he's long gone, but the fall of the, what is it, the rise and fall of the Third Reich. Have you read that book? Because it's like 1,000 pages of great internal history of Germany and before the war, during and after. Oh, rail fan there. Okay. So there's an app called Heritage Units. Oh, okay. I guess that would cost money though, right? Because us Scottish guys are cheap. Maybe can I bug you and say, hey, Norfolk CSX rail fan, bro, it's Mike. Can Can you tell me where the heritage lines are? Because they're beautiful. The Norfolk Southern Heritage Lines, plus the fire engine train, the one that's dedicated to police. I think there's a military one. They're beautiful. Hi there. Yeah, Baldy, I got no hair. I got glare. It's low maintenance. Oh, $5 per month? Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, you're right. Right now, I'm kind of in a tight spot, but, that's not too much money. And plus, it's a passion. Watching the railroads is what a joy. Do you also do planes as well? Because, 1984 was phenomenal. George Orwell. Oh, yeah, that's a great book. 1984 is. Do you feel that that's actually probably one of the most accurate books on how screwed up the world is and Big Brother and all that? Oh, okay, per year. Oh, that's not bad at all. Heck, even my cheap Scotch, genetic blooded, thrifty, cheap ass, I might have to go for that. That's great. And yeah, those first responder trains, and then that Virginian train is gorgeous. Are you familiar with the train? I think Norfolk Southern has a steam locomotive that goes like 100 miles an hour. Um, I think they usually only have Norfolk Southern employees on there because of liability or morale boosting reasons. It's a steam locomotive that goes really, really fast. And I think they go from west to 64 somewhere and go east at 100 plus miles an hour. I'll tune into you, brother. Yeah, sure. Sure, I'll tune into you. I can't get down that way tomorrow. I got a lot of other stuff going on. But I hope to say hi to you one day in person. My name's Mike, easygoing guy. Sometimes I take my son out with me. He's a fan of trains as well. And it's good stuff. Oh, Norfolk and Western 611. That's the one. Yep, yep. Does that go? Do you know what the maximum speed on that bad boy is? Because I saw it on YouTube and it just really impressed me. And if you get a chance, have you been up to New Hampshire's Cog Railroad on Mount Washington? Because that was phenomenal. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you heard of Higgy. He was one of the heartbroken about it. Higgy was a really nice guy. I got to meet him twice. He actually wrote a book about the Cog Railroads. He was an engineer there. He had a hearing ailment, but he was able to make it work. Phenomenal human being. He sadly died, I think, in a hiking accident this year. He was a wonderful man. I mean, I understand he was like 63 or 64, but too young. Oh, okay. 60 or 70 miles an hour. That's pretty damn good for a steam locomotive. That's moving. All right, I guess the firemen, if I'm not mistaken, are they called firemen? The ones that put the coals into the furnace or the boiler or whatever you call it? Oh, okay. Yeah, you haven't been. I recommend going to Mount Washington because I kid you not, you're riding a cog railroad. It goes straight up like this. And I don't know what the vertical degree, I don't know, whatever you call that thing in math back in the day, polygon, something, whatever it's called, P thing. But it's a high angle of attack. And when you go down it, it's also the same way. But when you're going up, you can literally look back at the train car you're in and see the people straight down. It's really bizarre. But then when you get to the top of Mount Washington, it could be like a beautiful day like today. The last time I went, it was up there. It was freaking cold. It was like 30 or 40 degrees colder. It was all fog. And it was like being in Empire Strikes Back in that opening scene. It was just bizarre. And the weather station up there literally has the highest recorded wind temperature or speed, I think at 280 miles an hour, recorded from the National Weather Service. So it's and people do die at Mount Washington. It's dangerous. Yeah, he has a worm in his brain supposedly. I'm not sure. I'm not a medical guy. To me, I think he's an odd duck. But, who knows? Honestly, I've heard of parasites getting in people's certain areas that doesn't sound pleasant. But yeah, I heard about the worm in the brain, and I don't know if it's true or not. I doubt it. But then again, maybe we could go to an ER and ask. I have seen an open heart surgery because I was interested, and they have a program here that allows us. Watching a quadruple bypass was fascinating. So maybe the next time I'm signed up to watch a heart surgery, um, I'll ask the docs, hey, is that brain worm thing for real or not? Oh, nice, Norfolk Southern. Okay. So you've seen the Virginian. I think that's the green and white one, if I remember correctly. Oh, Linden is beautiful. Oh, my goodness. And you got inside Norfolk Southern 911. Nice, nice. What a great way to pay tribute, and also at the same time, beautiful train. And yeah, Linden is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, actually, now that I got you here, before I forget Norfolk Southern, oh yeah, yellow and black. Yep, okay. Yep, that's a beautiful train. Before I forget, um, in Northern Virginia and Southern Maryland and elsewhere, is there a lot more freight traffic at night due to that Francis Scott Key Bridge thing? Um, you might know. I have neighbors and other people that have asked, friends that live in Springfield and Burke, and they think that there's more freight train down there. And I was curious, maybe you know. I think that was about 2 months ago when that bridge went down. So okay, yeah. So they're hearing it at night. I can honestly tell these folks I know, yes, you're hearing more trains at night because they said that it's getting very loud. Like, my guess, I don't know what that means. Do you think that means like more engines or more? There's not a quiet zone, or they're carrying more freight and they're just noisy. I don't understand what my friends in the Burke and Springfield area have been saying. I visit them often. I don't know. That's a tough one, Mr. Nader. I'd have to say George Washington, because that dude left like a multi-million-dollar estate in the comforts to go out and fight against a much superior enemy in odds that were nil. How about you? Who would be the person that you would like to meet? That is actually a great. And if others want to weigh in, please do. This channel is your channel, all. I'm just a guy like you, 3% related, just a human, chilling guy. Um, weigh in. You have a home here. We're all lifelong learners here. Oh, the horns, yeah. Yeah, the horns are really, I don't know. Yeah, they've been cranking them. And then Norfolk Southern, you probably heard about that sad event in, I think it was Springfield the other day, where I think it was like 2 adults and a child were killed by Norfolk Southern train. That's horrible. Mustafa Kamal, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I don't mean any offense. Ataturk. Can you kind of tell me who he is? I feel bad. I don't know who he is, but please share here with me, everybody else, who Mustafa is. Lifelong learners. This whole channel is dedicated to lifelong learners. Hi there, Golf. How you doing tonight? You up to anything good? Yeah, Norfolk Southern. Yeah, it was terrible the other day. Apparently, like, I think it was 2 adults and 1 child. You're probably familiar with Lake Akatink. That's where it happened. Oh, founder of the Republic of Turkey. Turkey is a fascinating country. Absolutely. So would that be back in the Ottoman Empire era, or would that be more recent? Please excuse my ignorance. I'm trying to learn more about world affairs. Good and no. I don't know what that means. I hope it means good and rocking the house, Goff. It would be nice if you subscribe or hit that thumbs up. We're going to try to keep getting this crowd to be friendly, lifelong learners, and to have fun. Hey there, Richard, rail fan. Nice to have you too. Hope you're doing well. What is your favorite train line? Because we got Norfolk Southern and CSX fan here too. And just curious which one you usually do. I also join you guys sometimes. I don't have a lot of videos, but I'm going to try to post more. Most of mine are Virginia Railway Express and also Amtrak's in DC. Hey, Golf, everybody like. Yep. Thank you. And also thank you for subscribing too. Trying to grow this channel. And this weekend's going to be very exciting if you guys turn in, because we're going to be doing the Norfolk, I apologize. Jeez. We're going to do the Washington brand new Air and Space Museum that just got renovated. We're going to do the Washington Zoo. We're going to do the maybe even either Camden Yards or Washington National Stadium. So stay tuned on Friday. Norfolk Southern too. All right. We got a whole bunch of nice. So you and Railfan and I have something in common. We all love Norfolk Southern. And admittedly, I used to play with stocks. I did very well with Norfolk Southern. Oh, wow. So would he be like the Turkish version of like George Washington? Was he like a revolutionary leader? I see here you wrote he was an Ottoman general, but later when they were defeated, he rebelled against the founding or the foreign powers and founded the republic. Very nice. That would be that's an impressive man. He must have had to go through all kinds of stuff back then. Props. So it was the Ottoman era. Okay, I'll look him up later, or I don't know if there's a way to like, my CRS is kicking up tonight. Can't remember shit. It's a true condition. But that gentleman Mr. Mustafa sounds like one heck of a man. Had some big brass. And as we know, Turkey's history is fascinating. Great culture, great food, great history, great people, great music, great accomplishments. Yeah, Goff, this is Washington, D.C. Where are you at tonight? Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, a guy like that, yeah. That's a guy with some, we like to say brass. So maybe like Turkey's George Washington, or, somebody that was ferocious and independent, and he started the country. Awesome. I'll have to look him up. Trying to learn more about world affairs. As you know, we're all related. And actually, I've been close to Turkey. I've seen it from Kabuleti. I've seen it from Batumi. And my apologies, I forgot the name on the town on the Black Sea where I saw Turkey off in the distance. Of course, I've flown over Turkey. It's beautiful. I really want to go to the Blue Mosque and see the Blue Mosque. And I really want to see that beautiful bridge that crossed Istanbul. And also go to the archaeological digs in Ankara, I think it's called, is the capital, if I'm not mistaken. I heard there's major archaeological digs going on right now. And plus Turkish cuisine and food. Oh, my goodness. Have a nice Turkish coffee to wake up. Oh, yeah. Yep. Turkish wine, from what I heard, is very good. In fact, actually, Mr. Nader, we have a gentleman in Loudoun County, which is a, what do I call it? Ankara is our capital. Okay, good. So there's something still here. Okay, good. Thank you. Good to know. I've been over, fairly close, but this is so cool. Okay, I know a gentleman named Bora Baki. This gentleman is a wine proprietor from Turkey who has a winery. Mr. Bora is one of the nicest people I've ever met. In fact, he really touched my heart because he has a winery, and he actually came from Turkey, and he said that the ground in Virginia is the exact same as in Turkey, and he uses Tannat grapes to create a blend called Red Onyx. And at first I laughed at him. I said, I won't like it. He goes, I think you're going to like this wine. And sure enough, I did. That was a pretty darn good night. And thanks to his kindness, we actually raised, I think it was $5,000 for the Epilepsy Foundation that night. He gave much more than most people do at charitable events. Wonderful human. Bora Baki is a great Turkish American. He came here and he created another winery. And he's starting weddings. Whereas I joked with him one time, I said, what happens when they get divorced? Do they get a refund? He said, nope. Great sense of humor. Railfan on CSX RFNP. I don't know what that is. I know CSX. I just can't figure out what RFNP means. A lot of times I see a CSX in Brunswick, Maryland. I do go there sometimes. Cumberland, Maryland. Um, I forgot where exactly the line is CSX goes, but I see them in Brunswick, Maryland, Point of Rocks, Cumberland. I'm not sure what RF and P means, but if you could explain it, I'm all wanting to learn. And also, thank you to you and Norfolk Southern CSX fan. It's cool you guys have taught this old guy some radio stuff. Oh, okay, Richmond, Frederick, and Platonic Ashland. Oh, okay, you know what? Actually, you're correct. I have done some train spotting down in Ashland. If I remember correctly, that's like, what, 6 miles north of Richmond? Um, I think that's where that station is. There's an Amtrak, and there's something else there, and there's CSX, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I've been, and also I've been by the Richmond railroads. So they're still kind of rough down there because the last time I was down there, yeah, I was carrying several firearms just to be on the safe side. But man, that was a rough rail yard. Um, Unfortunately, as you know, train spotting is mostly safe, but unfortunately, chance favors the prepared. I never want to have to ever use that. But there were a lot of drugged up people, a lot of mentally ill. I had one guy screaming at me. I just evaded him. Richmond was really rough the last time I was down there doing some rail fanning or train spotting or whatever it's called these days. Um, but yeah, I don't play down there after that. Ashland, I have been to. That's a little more laid back. But Richmond definitely had a lot more trains. But again, it had a lot of very mentally unhinged, homeless. My guess is drug users and mental illness. Um, that one guy was really confrontational. He was telling me all, cussing me out, yelling bad words at me, telling me he'd kill me. And I was just like, gotta go. I'm not going to use defensive measures unless I'm in a corner. And so I just walked away. But Richmond, it's pretty rough. And then if you've been over in Henrico County, there's some trains over there. That's also a pretty rough yard over there. There's a lot of homeless, drugs, drinking, mental illness. Yeah, Norfolk Southern and Richmond. Yep. Yeah, I did see a lot of I saw a lot of Norfolk Southern when I was in Richmond, when I wasn't dealing with, I don't know if there are people that, I don't know what you call them. You guys probably know the name of the people that hop on the trains. There were some of them, I don't know if it's hobos. I don't mean to be mean. It's just the term. Then maybe there's a new term. And there was just, Richmond, I met a lot of unhinged people out there that were literally screaming at me and yelling at me. And I was just like, you know what? I want to watch trains in peace. Also, I don't want to be in a position where I have to fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I mean, I can handle my own, but I'd rather not. Age has some advantages. Just clear out. Louisiana, never been there. Has anybody else been here to Louisiana? I've always wanted to go. One of my ex-girlfriends went to Tulane University, and she said it's absolutely wild down there in New Orleans, Louisiana. And she said even Baton Rouge apparently has a reputation for crime, and also some, it's just a wild place. They have a drink called a hurricane, named after the storm that I believe is like 40% alcohol. And from what I understand, what she told me, we dated for 2 years. She said that one of those would pretty much take care of your whole night. And when she went to Tulane University, and even afterwards, she visited Lake Port-la-Chain. It's a French name, Lake Port-la-Chain. She said that place is amazing, but there's a lot of partying going on down there. But the Cajun food is delicious. I don't know if in Turkey, if you can get Cajun or Creole food, but I believe it's a mixture of French and indigenous people that live down there, the Cajuns and the Creole, and their food, like gumbo, is delicious. Oh yeah, Huey Long, senator. Yep. Assassinated, a very controversial individual. Yeah, I've heard of Huey Long. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty wild. What happened to him? I don't know. Norfolk Southern, I hope I awake. Probably working. I don't know, Mr. Nato. I don't know enough about him. From what I understand, he was very controversial. Can you maybe tell me more about him, or the rest of us folks, about Huey Long? I know he was assassinated. I forgot what year. And I think he was a U.S. Senator down for Louisiana? And maybe there was some gambling involved or something. I forgot. Louisiana also does have a reputation. It was Governor, no joke, I think his name was Edwin Edwards or Edward Edwards. You can't make up that name. He got hemmed up for gambling down there and corruption. Tomorrow working. How about you, Norfolk Southern? You got to be working tomorrow, or are you out rail fanning, as it were? Those damn birds need to put quarters in there. Stop eating all the food. Oh, okay. You're only 9 years old. Okay. So you'll be at home. I hope your school year was successful. I also hope that, so what year, I guess, did you just graduate? I apologize. I'm old. Was it third or fourth or fifth grade? I forgot. It's been a while. Oh, okay. So you're researching Senator Long, I guess? Please feel free to share anything you know about him, because said lifelong learner here. It's always good to learn. Oh, third. Okay, congratulations. I think next year across the United States, if I'm not mistaken, it's every state. Will you have U.S. history next year? Good for you. Congratulations on finishing third grade. Have a fun summer. Be safe. And I hope you have a good vacation or something with your family and friends. And, good job. I don't remember third grade much. It was a long time ago, admittedly. Okay. Left populist. Okay, so he was more in, I guess, the Democratic or liberal, or back then I think they had a socialist party, if I'm not mistaken. Was he very charismatic? I think he was a very charismatic person, if I remember correctly. I think he fired up a lot of people. Oh, nice. You're going to Alaska. Lucky Norfolk Southern, CSX. I'm sure you probably know this, but back in the day when Alaska was bought from Russia, it was $1 million, and it was called Steward's Folly, I believe, who was the Secretary of State. It was either Stanton or Stewart. But for $1 million, I think that's one heck of a good deal. We got a lot of resources in Alaska. Are you going to be visiting Anchorage or Juneau or just all over? Or, I'd like to get up there one day and see it, and I've heard it's beautiful. Okay, so Democratic Party. Yeah, you know what's funny about the Democratic Party and the Republican parties? When the U.S. started out, it had Federalists and Whigs, or even no parties, actually, I think. And then the Federalists and the Whigs, the Democrats have become Republicans, the Republicans have become Democrats. They're all over the place. It's very confusing sometimes, because if you look in the 1960s or 50s, the Southern Democrats were very conservative. They were very much in favor of going against civil rights, while the Republican Party was known as the one that was for civil rights. Now, I'm not so sure. Admittedly, I'm an independent libertarian, but for what it's worth. Yeah, it's pretty wild, Norfolk Southern. Yeah. If you look it up, this might even be good for if you do a school project next year. I think it's called Seward's Folly. It was Lincoln's Secretary of State bought Alaska for $1 million, which was more money back then, obviously, than it is now. I don't know what it was then, but even now, that's a heck of a bargain. And Russia has been mad ever since. And, I mean, they signed the paperwork. It's kind of like when you buy a car, and if you don't like it, you put your name on it. You dated it. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So he's going to be a presidential candidate. Do you know around what year? It seems like a lot of presidential candidates get, either presidents or presidential candidates get shot. Oh, so okay, no wonder. Maybe that's why it escapes, because FDR had 4 terms. Do you remember if it was what term it was that Huey Long ran against him? Because FDR is an amazing presidency, although, yeah, 4 terms. Thank goodness they're now limited to 2, because then they can only do so much damage, I hope. What is it? Politicians around the world. When I was in Eastern Europe, I loved the tradition. They raise their beers to the politicians as an insult. They drink their wine and toast people with love. They drink beers for the politicians. Yeah, FDR was a pretty amazing human being. Also, what I do like about FDR is that that moment where he got out of his wheelchair and walked across the convention floor with polio, that's actually quite an admirable act of courage that he did it. They all told him, don't do it, you're going to fall. And he said, no, I'm going to walk across that stage. And he did. And he was also an amazing Secretary of the Navy. He has a lot of good quotes. Oh, okay, so you're going to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta. Okay, nice. I've never been down to Atlanta. What is it like down there? Is the traffic as bad as it is? Hi, Jenya. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for calling me, cutie. I'll have to throw you some money for that. This old guy appreciates it. Oh, Roanoke and Spartanburg. When you go to Roanoke, are you going to go up to where that hike is, where there's, I think, that star that you can get a picture with? I think Spartanburg, if I'm not mistaken, is South Carolina. Could be wrong. What was it? 8 years ago, I loved the, forgot what it was called. It was the train where we put the car on it and went all the way down to Florida. Mr. Nator, peace be with you, and cheers. And it was so nice to learn about Mr. Mustafa. One heck of a man. And I wish you the best, my friend. Oh, okay. Cheers. It's in South Carolina. Okay. Yeah, I think Spartanburg has some Civil War history down there. I think there was a battle. And then I think this is what blows me. Oh, yeah, auto wreck trains. Yeah, it was the auto train. That's the name of it. Yeah, from Lorton, Virginia, all the way down to Stanford, Florida, about 40 minutes north of Orlando. Best way to see Disney World, although don't take the top bunk and sleep on that if you're 6'2" or 3. Not fun. It's like the worst sleep ever. And I've slept under the stars with no sleeping bag. So, yeah, it was an interesting train. I loved the service. Actually, the conductors and all the folks on the train were wonderful. The dining car was very nice. Being able to see the beautiful views of the cypress trees down in Georgia, gorgeous. But, yeah, sleeping on one of those trains was unique, to say the least. A lot of the jostling. I'm sure the people that do it all the time get used to it, but it was not a good night of sleep. And no, I hope you have a great trip. And so, do you know how long it's going to take to get down to Atlanta? Because my guess is you're going Amtrak, I guess. I think that's our only train, if I remember correctly, that does that. Some of their, I don't know about you, I feel sad. I fly everywhere now because it's cheaper and quicker. But it's almost like we've lost that identity. I don't know if there's a way to bring trains back, or maglev trains. Have you seen any? No, I don't think I have. Unless, Real Fan, do you mean like, I think I've seen it on YouTube. I haven't seen it in person. I think CSX also has one to first responders, if I remember correctly. That's one cool looking engine. And also, I appreciate CSX giving our respect to our men and women that are first responders. Oh, 9 hours. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. So it's not like one of those, some Amtrak trains. Oh my goodness. It's like, they take forever.
I mean, I guess it's nothing is wrong with like it's not as slow as Greyhound buses are. Yeah, I've done that. That was not fun. I'm his brother, and we are driving to Atlanta. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, awesome. No, I hope you guys have a safe trip. And, I'll definitely try to check your channels and see if you get some cool stuff up because once work quits tomorrow, should have some days off. Oh, okay. 12 hours with the stops. I guess on the stops, do they allow you to disembark and I guess use the instead of the train bathrooms like at the train station or give you enough time to get to a convenience store and get a cup of coffee or a candy bar or something? Or I don't have much experience riding the mostly I've ridden MARC trains, VRE trains, and again with Amtrak, I've only ridden the rode one once to Pittsburgh, which was and then I rode the auto train was cool other than the lack of sleep. Nice, so driving, okay, yeah, no, hopefully you have a safe trip. From what I've heard, Atlanta is even crazier than the DC Baltimore area for driving, so please be safe, please be careful, and watch out for aggressive drivers because I don't understand the human disconnect behind the steering wheel. Some of the nicest people you'll meet when they get behind that car, jeez. Oh, okay. Richard Rail fan, my apologies. What I'm going to try to do, I'm still learning. I'll see if my son can help me subscribe to your channel. I think I've seen you. I'm pretty sure I've seen you both. And I may be subscribed to you both. I don't know. I'm going to have my teenage son help me out with that because he's the IT guy in this house. The fact that we're doing this right now alone is probably going to blow his mind. Hey, Dad, you actually figured out how to turn your phone on? Yes. Like, very nice. Okay, cool, cool. No, I'll try to subscribe to you guys. Or if you just pop up again, say, hey, Mike, remember me? Could you please do me a favor and subscribe? I don't have paper on me tonight or a pen. It was a heck of a day, crunch numbers or whatever you want to call it at work. My son is, his name is Alex. He's a character, and I love him. I'm very proud of him. He's got more hair than I do, and he's a lot younger, and he's actually hilarious. I have to protect him sometimes, so he really doesn't want to do the YouTube thing, but my hope is eventually I want to boost his confidence by having him at least narrate his interest in aviation. He's really into airplanes. He knows every model. He can actually count the wheels on a plane and say, that's a 757-200. That's a 767-300. I'm like, what? Wish I had that ability. I can tell you it's a plane. I might be able to tell you it's a United Airlines, a Turkish Airlines, a Georgian Airways, Russian Airways, Air France, but beats me. Unless it's a 747 or an A380, they're obvious. Years ago, I actually thought he was BSing me. We were at the Udvar Hazy Center. You probably heard of it, by Dulles Airport. And they have a tower where you can watch the planes come in. And he goes, Dad, he's with my interesting ex-wife. I'll be nice. She's unique. I know she means well, but jeez. If you ever heard the phrase, she's very beautiful, but there's a man that's tired of her crap, I guarantee you that's probably already the case. And I don't know why. I have dated some pretty women over the years, and I can confirm, no matter how pretty she is, there's a guy that's tired of that nonsense. But it is what it is. But 1 year, we were at the Udvar Hazy Center, and he goes, Dad, there's an Antonov 125. I was like, you got to be BSing me, young man. I was like, no way. You're just playing with me. And I kid you not, sure enough, there comes the Antonov 125, which was, it's still huge. It's not the Antonov 225 that was sadly destroyed by the Russians in Ukraine that did humanitarian flights for the UN and other organizations to bring relief for poverty or people in crisis. But he actually wasn't kidding me. And I think I have a video on somewhere of it. I'll try to post it on YouTube. But it's the Antonov 125. It's the smaller one. It's still big as a 747. I mean, it's got like, I think it has like 6 or 8 engines on it. It's huge. Originally built by Antonov, Soviet Union. Big plane. That one's still in service for international relief efforts, and I probably want to guess there's probably some intelligence agencies that rent that plane. Makes sense. Military contractors, wet ops, whatever you want to call it. But I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to cut it off here tonight, folks. My apologies. It's been one of those days. I hope wherever you are, you stay safe. Again, thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. This channel is soon going to really take off. We're going to do a lot of cool stuff together and around the world too, not just the U.S. But peace be with you all. Be safe. Take care of one another. And just remember, let's have fun. Peace be with you all.